First dates should always be the park or a cup of coffee. You don't ball out of control on a first date. All right, let's get that clear. I don't care how bad you're looking to impress the woman. After the first date, you should be able to pick up on vibes as to, what kind of chemistry you have. If it's just her using you or, you can fake it, but so long. We have a very interesting story coming to us from the New York Post. A third of women only date men because of the free food study. This is by Susie Weiss. This is a great example because Shorty is fine as hell, but she looks bored out of her mind. If dude is and you can see his hand resting on his ear, like he's still very into it. And I'm pretty sure this is a stock footage. Shutterstock. This is stock footage. Deal is that if her vibe is this strong, just at the date, there's no point in even continuing. Like, look, we're going to split this bill and we out because you are clearly not into it. It's like the same thing when chicks hop on their phones. Like, I'm right here. So if whatever you got that's more important than the phone, you can deal with that on over there because this is supposed to be me and you trying to figure out what we trying to get popping over here. Let's get into it. The results are in. She only wanted to try that hot new restaurant. A new study published Friday by the Society for Personality and Social Psychology journal, where are these journals coming from, found that a quarter to a third of heterosexual women have gone on a date with a guy that they weren't interested in, just for a free meal. Foodie calls. Okay, that's pretty funny. Can happen when money's tight, the grocery store is out of a favorite frozen item, or a must-try entree is just too extravagant to justify when the tab comes out of your own bank account. Golly. Two studies, the first conducted with 820 women and the second with 327, asked participants if they ever engaged in a plate for play. 23% of the women copped to it in the first study, 33% in the second. All right, so let's do a little bit of quick math here. At bare minimum, there's 300 million people in the United States of America, right? Now, let's say about 55 to 56% of that is women. So you're looking at, 165 million people. And out of that, and so from there, you're going to pull less than 1,500 and, oh man, we have a study here. And I'm very curious as to where they pull these about 1,200, 1,300 people from. Because if it's from New York and LA, then yeah, that's kind of the way the dating scenes operate in these places. If you go more rural and to more, more rural and suburban areas, I'm pretty sure that the numbers will be different. So no matter the study, no matter the statistics, always keep in mind, at least in the back of your mind, that there's always variables and there's always different examples, and you should never really take them with too much of a grain of salt. The researchers, Brian Collison, Jennifer Howell, and Trishta Harig of Azusa Pacific University and UC Merced, also noted that the women who felt dating for food were socially acceptable were more likely to exhibit the dark triad of personality traits. That's psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and narcissism for those without a PhD in psych. So basically, they're users. They're manipulative users that you really shouldn't want to have in your life in the first place. So it's better off just to not interact with them. In addition to egotism, with a side of truffled mashed potatoes to go, Collison said foodie callers, that's still funny, are more likely to engage in one-night stands, faking an orgasm, or sending unsolicited sexual pictures. Okay, that kind of changes it a little bit because, if you're smashing on your foodie call, then hey, it's play for play. It's play for plate, right? It is what it is. Then I consider that an equal to even exchange. But still, personally, I like that's not the type of relationship that I think. I don't want to say decent people, but people who are looking for real substance are into. And with climbing rents and an ever expanding list of just say restaurants, to try, New York might as well be teeming with foodie calls. One East Villager, Olivia Balsinger, was treated to a 5-course meal at a C and B scene seafood joint, Catch, in the meatpacking district. Oh, okay. So I'm from Jersey. I've lived next to New York my entire life. I've been to New York. I've been to the meatpacking district, and it still makes me giggle. That would be a great nickname for San Francisco, right? Like just call it the meatpacking district. Balsinger told the Post 2 years ago, "If I had been forced to pay, I probably wouldn't have been able to eat for weeks afterwards." So, it really is it's standard dating stuff from what I'm able to pick up in this article. She hungry, she willing to give out a little cut, then cool. I mean, it's an even Stevens, really. If dude is out there trying to be impressive and everything else like that, and, all it takes is a 5-course meal, then however you got to accomplish the mission, my G, just keep in mind that I had, what was that? Psychology Today is another one of these publications. Like, there's so many different psychological publications out there that are really aiming towards things that don't make any, like, how do I put it? This is so much simpler than I think they're making it out to be. Like, look, hypergamy is a thing, and ladies, and everyone likes to eat. So if it's an even exchange of sex for food, then, new age prostitution, I guess. I'm not sure. But I do know that when it comes to these types of studies, it's the sample size is always so small that there really never anything to go on. Like none of this should be taken with anything besides a grain of salt, because every individual is different, and those foodie calls more than likely in a couple of years will be like, oh yeah, I really want to settle down, and they'll transform, they'll evolve from the foodie call. So we'll see how all that plays out. But then again, I just wanted to do this video because it was an interesting article, and a lot of people can see this definitely being a thing. I just like with the small sample size that they use, not even. So what do you think? All the internet stuff, like if you liked it or dislike it. I'm getting used to it. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice, and sharing is caring, and let me know what you think in the comments. Like, have you done this? Have you been a foodie call? Have you been the guy in the foodie call situation, right? I mean, because it's like, honestly, it is kind of cheaper to take it to a restaurant, spend like $500 on a meal, and then never see you again. That sounds like a very fair exchange. All right, get some cut and then never see you again. Because if you ain't cutting, bruh, then I don't even like what you get out this situation. You getting played. That's the only way you're getting played, is if you're not cutting. But if she sit there, she get full, and she ready to get down, then it is what it is. I just never understood that though. Like smashing on a full stomach, like it's food in my stomach. I don't feel all that sexy. Anyways, until the next one.